How could a Viking warrior be killed by the tooth of a man he had already killed? And how could a Scottish king be killed by his own cannon while watching it fire? These sound like impossible ways for a king to die, but both stories really come from medieval history. The first takes us to Orkney in the late 800s, where Sigurd the Mighty ruled as a powerful Viking earl. Sigurd was used to fighting, and one of his enemies was a Scottish chief named Brigty, who had a rather unfortunate nickname, the Bucktooth. The two men agreed to meet in battle, each bringing 40 warriors, but Sigurd had a trick ready. Instead of 40 men, he arrived with 80, placing 2 men on each horse. Brigty quickly realized what had happened, but by then it was too late. A fight followed and Sigurd won. Brigty was killed and Sigurd decided to take his enemy's head home as a trophy. He tied the head to his horse and began the journey back. And this is where the story takes a very strange turn. As the horse moved, Brigty's head bounced against the side of the animal. Then one of his teeth cut Sigurd's leg and cut him. It was only a small wound. Sigurd carried on riding, but over the next few days, the wound became worse. It became infected and Sigurd eventually died from it. So the Viking warrior who had defeated his enemy in battle was brought down by the tooth of the same man he had already killed. And that wasn't the only king to die because of something that was supposed to help him win a battle. More than 500 years later, James II of Scotland was fighting to take Roxburgh Castle from the English. It was 1460 and James had brought large cannons to the siege. These weapons were still relatively new, powerful and dangerous. James was standing close to one of them as it was being fired. Then the cannon exploded and a large piece of the barrel hit James and killed him. He was only 29 years old, but the siege did not end with his death. James's wife, Mary of Guelders, stayed with the Scottish army and helped keep the attack going. Just 2 days later, Roxburgh Castle surrendered. Mary then ordered the castle to be destroyed so the English could not use it against Scotland again. So one ruler was killed by the tooth of a dead enemy, another was killed by the weapon he had brought to win his battle, and that is what makes these deaths so strange. Both men went to war expecting danger from the enemy in front of them. Neither expected the thing closest to them to be what finally ended their lives.